Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yes, but good evening, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. And now, let's dive into things and see if we can figure out what's going on here in the city. Alright, we are live.
I was gonna tell you to do the emote you got for show Zora.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
I haven't seen it either.
But yeah, remember, Zora, when we first came to the Crystarium, and they had us look over at one of the kiosks, and it looked like they had a bunch of cell phones up there, and we looked disturbed when we saw it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just one moment.
Need a hot bar of that.
Did you go get one?
Those are tombstones. That's what tombstones look like, apparently.
Oh, okay. They're not cell phones like we thought.
I know, but the emote is almost as if they are. It's really
Mhm.
funny. But you just have to download the app, right? The Final
Yep.
Fantasy app.
The Final Fantasy,
Oh,
yeah, the companion app.
I
What?
should have it then.
You might. I just went to my emotes and scrolled to the very bottom, and it's slash tombstone. Yep, there it is. But yeah, I was just standing in town on Sunday and saw somebody do it. And I'm like, that now things make sense.
For sure.
Alright, let's find what's waiting for us at the destination. Few townsfolk are about, and you spy none who appear to be in distress. I've only just returned from Amarang, yet I find the Crystarium moments from being beset by sin eaters. Where are they coming from? This shouldn't be possible. We restored the darkness. Well, this is a fortunate coincidence. Brother, tell me you have some idea why this is happening. I may, but for the moment we'll need to postpone such discussions in favor of action. The Crystal Exarch is preparing to deploy a barrier around the Crystarium as we speak. Ensuring that he is able to do so should be our first concern. There are a number of instruments placed about the Crystarium that function as anchors for the barrier. I'm on my way to activate them now. In which case, 3 pairs of hands would be better than one. Very well. I'll take the ones to the south. I shall deal with the northern apparatus then. You handle the western two. They're ensconced on platforms extending from the upper level of the Aetheryte Plaza. I'm not sure it's entirely wise to send somebody to go turn on machinery who's never seen said machinery before.
That's what I was
Yeah.
just thinking. Why is he sending us to something we don't know what it even looks like?
I think the towers are outside, and they have stairs outside.
Ah,
One of them has a viewpoint over on the. So that's the only reason why I know the one.
gotcha.
Oh, nope, you were right. I was wrong. Head on back. Stairs are not close enough.
Aren't we going the wrong one?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Zora went to the right.
Zora is correct this time.
Yay, me.
I figured it wouldn't matter which one we went to first, so I was just running down toward what looked to be some kind of machinery. But no, it matters.
I might have been able to jump from the tower over there.
Possibly could have.
Despite having very little idea as to how it functions, it appears that you have activated the device successfully. Okay, I love that they actually point out that we have no idea what we're doing.
That was fantastic.
Oh, now we go back.
Uh-huh. Oh, in the live letter, one of the comments mentioned is that somebody had noticed in one of the Endwalker fights, when you're using the trust system, that Ishtola actually dodges the attacks the boss does, but the other guys don't. And the Final Fantasy XIV guys responded with, yeah, she can see the Aether moving, so she sees them coming. They can't. Oh, well, we recognize that barrier.
They're coming!
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. The barrier is holding.
That's good news for the Crystarium, but what of the rest of Lakeland?
Lena and the city guard have taken to the field. Thancred and the others have already joined them. Let us do the same.
Oh. Good luck, everybody. See you on the other side. We ought to join the Vanguard as soon as possible. If the number of eaters we just saw is any indication, we'll be facing a formidable host. What lovely weather. Just what we needed. It seems the battle has already begun in earnest. Make haste. Crystarium forces are engaging the Sin Eaters at various locations across Lakeland. Assist them in defeating the Eaters before they are decimated.
Let's give it our all.
Help is at hand.
If anybody is unsure on where to go, follow Alice.
I just tell you, she's taking off like a bat out of hell. Trying to keep up with her.
Leave the healing to me. I shall protect you.
You will rue the day you crossed my path.
It was nothing.
It is as we feared. But our task is as it ever was. Turn the tide.
On your feet. Be outdone. Theory in practice. Your tales will suffice. My strength is yours.
May the 12 guide you.
The stars shall grant thee succor.
Let's give them a show. With heart and steel. There are so many. Ah, God damn it! Leader! Lena, hold on.
They turned on me.
This one is mine!
We need only hold out a little while longer. Reinforcements are coming, remember? The captain said so. We're going to be all right.
Run! Run, damn you!
The Warrior of Darkness has returned. The Bloody Knight has returned. So stay with me, eh? You can't go dying now.
God damn it!
Please let this work. Please let this work. No. No, no. Stay back. Stay back.
Help! Help! Anyone! Why did you spare me? Why? What have I done to deserve this mercy?
Forward! Forward! If you can still hold a sword, follow me! Wounded to the rear! Weapons at the ready! Let's make this count!
Fight and struggle. Seek salvation by your own hands. Though the losses be grave, endure them. Though the victories be hollow, claim them.
Y'all must have steamrolled that then. Because I felt like my damage was pretty good. But I see all three of y'all beat me pretty handedly. Although I will point out that Alpha Node needs to consult his dictionary for the definition of decimate. Because the army was decimated before we even ran into Thancred, so. It seems we've driven them back, for the time being at least. The wounded have been collected and are undergoing treatment now. Once they're ready to be moved, we'll have them carried back to the Crystarium. The dead as well, of course. Those whose bodies remain, anyway. Grats, Emo.
Thanks.
Congrats.
The others are helping to treat the wounded. I'm planning to assist in moving them, but even so, we simply don't have enough hands. I'm sure you're fit to fall over after what you've been through. Gods know I am. But if you could see to a few patients, it would be an enormous help. Captain Lena's about somewhere, so you might also consider asking her if there are any other outstanding areas of need. We'll talk later.
Well, he sounded a little bit on the defeated side.
Hmm? Well, I mean, we did lose better than half the army on that. With tear-filled eyes, the prone man gazes up at you. His fingers twitch as if to reach for you, but he lacks the strength to raise his hand. Because when the medic said there are reinforcements coming, they meant us. Thank you, but it's too late. One of them, it got me. If I turn, please kill me, I beg you. Don't touch me. I killed her. I killed her. She was one of them. I know, but I...
Oh, I did not see you there. Is there something you need? Appoint another. My captain's place is with her soldiers in the field. Don't pretend you're not of the same mind. You fought well today. Saved a great many lives. Thank you. Unfortunately, this war is far from over. We must replenish our ranks and shore up our defenses before they attack again. Now, if you will excuse me. I am fine. Completely and utterly fine. Better than fine. Hale and hearty and still alive to mourn those who are not. Who I failed to protect when they needed me most. We've come so far, so goddamn far. I could have sworn the end was in sight, and now... Now they will never see it.
Impudent worms of the Crystarium! The tragedy that has befallen you is of your own making. Divine retribution for your defiance. The heavens have bequeathed to you a benevolent savior, me. I offer you freedom from pain and suffering. A paradise where man and sin-eater might live in peace and harmony. Why, already, our winged brothers and sisters regard me and mine as kin, alike to them in beauty and purity. But you not only reject my prophet hand, but raise your own against my sin-eaters. It is only right that they respond in kind. Let this be a lesson to all those who would walk the path of sin. The wicked shall not inherit this world!
I feel like that cutscene wouldn't have worked very well for a black mage warrior of light. Because I doubt a black mage would stand there and just listen to him. We would have tried to knock one of those airships out of the air.
Well, I wanted to shoot too. I mean, pop those balloons.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering how far one of my spells could go.
Indeed.
Range says 60 yards. Is that 60 yards?
Probably.
Valtry's ship is already gone. How flattering that he came all this way just to give his little speech. I apologize for my earlier outburst. Rest assured that I have no intention of allowing any of my wounds to affect the performance of my duties, especially not now. If I may, could I ask you to seek out Thancred and Minvilia for me? They endangered themselves on my behalf, and I would feel better knowing that they are well looked after. Thancred in particular sustained quite an injury from that Sin-Eater. I would not be surprised if he were in Bagrix still. Please, give them my thanks. Just in case you haven't actually seen it yet, Zora.
Oh yeah, I went and picked mine up. Yeah.
So pretty.
Good.
So pretty.
Apparently there's also one for getting all of the birds from Heavensward, so I guess we know what our next goal is.
Yay!
I'm just looking at my mini-map because I don't see any arrows. Oh, we gotta go back to the Crystarium. We don't have to fly anywhere. Oh, it's down here. Must be out here, though. You're here for me? Sorry to put you to the trouble. I'm fine, really. The Eater landed in an unfortunately solid blow, but the healers here have done wonders. I'm more worried about Minfilia. She's not taking it well. Could I ask you to speak with her? My attempts to reach out seem to have had the opposite effect. She's gone off to the Hortorium, ostensibly to fetch herbs for Shesimile, but just talk to her, will you?
It's listed as down.
Yeah, I was like, do I need to go up or is it down here? Someday I will learn where the things are in the Crystarium. Someday.
I remember planting looking beds up at the top, so I was thinking it was up as well.
Mm-hmm. Manphilia appears to be lost in thought. Perhaps a gentle poke will get her attention. Oh. What are you doing here? Tamgrid. It's my fault, you know. I jumped at the chance to help Lena, but I was careless, and now it's my fault. I'm going with option 2. Oh, what have I done? I promised I'd be right back, and yet here I am. I know that I need to be better. I'm only allowed to be part of this because I'm Minfilia, and I need to be more like her. All I do is make mistakes, put others in danger. But you're right. I can still help. If only by seeing these herbs safely to Shesimile. There are only 2 left on the list, but I need to ask you about this one. I've looked high and low, and I can't seem to find it anywhere. Would you mind collecting the other? I would hate to delay any longer than I already have. You're looking for something with soft leaves that's very fragrant, in an unmistakably medicinal way, I was told. We only need 2 sprigs or so. Once you've got them, you can bring them directly to Shesimile. Whoever gets there first can explain that the other will be back shortly. Thank you, I appreciate the help. When are they going to let us tell her that all Minfilia did was sit in a room and tell us to go out and do stuff?
Yeah.
I know, right?
This plant has soft leaves and smells strongly medicinal.
She's helping out a lot more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, remember, canonically, what class Minfilia was, after all.
Yeah,
Minor?
minor
Yep,
or...
she was a minor.
I didn't know minor or botanist, I forgot, but yeah.
Minors, not minors.
Mm-hmm. Minfilia told me that you'd be bringing the rest. Marvelous. With this, I can replenish our store of medicines. We're struggling to keep up with the number of wounded that are being brought in. I wasn't on the field, but it doesn't matter. The patient's faces make it plain that it was a horrible battle. And we're still fighting it, I suppose. Though with bitter medicine rather than sharp steel. But we'll win, I promise you that. Seems that I owe you an apology for dragging you to yet another battlefield when you've just come off the front lines. In both cases, I'm sure your efforts saved more than a few. With Spagarets in good working order, the Crystarium's people will be cared for. More lie ahead, of course. Battles only you can fight. Not that we intend to let you do it alone, but that's a matter to discuss with the Exarch. You know the Exarch? We do. Was there something you needed? I need you to tell him something. For me. My dearest friend, you see. He was there on the battlefield with me. But only the one of us is here to speak of it. At the end, before the wound killed him, I heard his dying words. I never knew that our world was this beautiful, he told me. I'm so glad that I got to see the night sky. I don't know how the Exarch feels about what happened out there. I don't know if what Valtteri said is true, if our losses were our just deserts, and we doom ourselves to worse by continuing to fight this fight. But I believe in the Warrior of Darkness, in the Crystal Exarch. I don't think what they've done is wrong. And I don't think we're wrong to fight with them either. My friend, he smiled at the end, just as he smiled when he raised his glass to celebrate the return of the night. That's how I want to remember it. So I want you to tell the Exarch, don't give up. Don't give in. Please. We'll tell him. You have my word. If you're ready, why not go on ahead to the Ocular? You can keep the Exarch company while I fetch Alphanode. Don't worry, I mean to borrow the swiftest Amaro I can find, so we shouldn't keep you long. Be sure to pass on that message, eh? Chances neither of them come to the Ocular, or only Thancred does because Minfilia ran off. Welcome, my friend. Tales of your heroism on the battlefield precede you. Though I confess, I found them more gladdening than surprising. I hear no few of our people have you to thank for plucking them from the jaws of death. Would that they had not needed saving to begin with, but the responsibility for that lies with me. One of our soldiers said that. Thank you. Rest assured that I fully intend to continue our work. I will not shirk from what must be done, now least of all. Though I mourn the loss, I will not lose myself to grief, and even should regret be my constant companion, I will follow the path I have chosen to its end. Going with option 2. Of that I have no doubt. And if you should ever appear to falter, it will only be because we are fatigued after a battle well fought. I thank you for your kind words. Now, we have plans to make, do we not? Guess I'm wrong, they're both here.
My friends, with your aid, we have weathered a brutal assault.
Sorry I'm late, though I would not have been had anyone thought to notify me in advance.
As I was saying, it was only with your aid that we weathered this assault. Without it, the Crystarium and all who dwell here would now be gone.
For each we saved, another perished. If there is anything else we can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask. This is our home too, and we want nothing more than to keep it safe.
Thank you. We are blessed to have you with us. As for the attack itself, Vorthri may call it divine retribution, but Sin Eaters are creatures of instinct. A coordinated assault is unprecedented. Moreover, in the absence of a Light Warden, there should have been no compulsion for lesser Sin Eaters to congregate here en masse. All of which points to a single, unavoidable conclusion.
That these minions of light answer to a higher power. He who did claim kinship with them, who did boast of control, not in idleness, 'twould seem, but in earnest. Lord Vorthri.
Indeed. What I mistook for bluster was in fact the truth. The Sin Eaters are his to command. But if he imagines this show of force will convince us to bend the knee, he is sorely mistaken.
I take it your meeting in Yulmore did not end well.
You could say that, yes. But I am wiser for the experience nevertheless. It appears he has mastered a technique which allows him to enslave the minds of others. A fact I discovered when he attempted to use it on me.
That would go some way towards explaining the peculiar reverence afforded him by his subjects. There may feasibly be a handful of true believers among them, I suppose, but it would not surprise me if the vast majority were in his thrall.
Had I not anticipated his treachery, I might well have joined them. But seeing his invitation for what it was, I sent a glamour in my stead. I rather doubt such tricks will avail me a second time, however.
Did you have any luck tracking down the Light Warden in Calusia?
Sadly, I have nothing to report on that front. What of Arm-Arang?
After a fruitless few days scouring ruins, I resorted to asking the locals. While no one I spoke to had seen any sign of the Warden, I did uncover a possible lead. An abandoned mine in western Arm-Arang. From what the Maud told me, it would be a perfect place to stay out of sight. Of course, I could never hope to explore such a labyrinth quickly or safely on my own, so I returned here.
Even should we all join in the endeavor, an exhaustive search could take weeks, and with no guarantee of finding anything.
The Wardens harbor vast reservoirs of primordial light, do they not? Far beyond anything found in lesser Sin Eaters. And isn't it true that the Oracle could see the light of a Sin Eater from miles away? Surely a Warden would seem like a blazing beacon by comparison. To the real Oracle of Light, I mean. The real Menphilia. If we travel to Arm-Arang, to the south where she halted the flood, I could summon her back. What do you think?
Don't.
Don't what? Do what I can. What we both know is right.
Do not presume to know my mind. You have no idea what you're proposing.
But I do! I know why you never said anything. Because you thought you could keep me safe by keeping me in the dark. And maybe I thought so too. But I knew, Thancred. I always knew.
Oh, I see. I thought you were a rather underwhelming reincarnation. But it all makes sense now. The Oracle lies dormant within you, doesn't she? But to draw on her true power, you must become one, both body and soul. To wit, one being must consume the other. Who shall be the lucky winner?
This doesn't concern you, Ascian.
But it plainly concerns you. Which is why your heart is ready to burst out of your chest. Despite the raging tempest in your bosom, however, you have never once opened up to your young charge. Now, why would that be? Love. Well, I for one think it's a marvelous idea. Certainly more promising than any of your other suggestions. So, it's off to Armorang we go.
I'll meet you at the gates.
I'm sorry to be so insistent, but I know this is the only way. If you're willing to give me a chance, come with us. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
As has become kind of my thing, when I see Emmett Selk standing there, I go and see if he has anything to say for himself. And he had something to say this time.
Oh.
He says, "Will you never grow tired of shuffling your feet? If you have something to ask, ask." And I can ask, "Tell me about Zodiark." As I told you before, Zodiark is the creation of my people, the first people. We summoned him, as your kind might summon a primal, albeit an infinitely more powerful one. And like one of your primals, he tempered us. It was only natural. There is no resisting such power. And so we Ascians came to exist solely to bring about the rule of darkness. His darkness. Of course, some would call us evil for it, but they would be fools. Though that is only to be expected, given their innate inability to conceive of the nature of the universe. But I believe I am repeating myself. Do you not trust me to speak honestly? Do you hope to catch me in a lie? Really, I have no need of deception, and even if I did, I assure you, you would find it quite indistinguishable from the truth. He seems to like to talk.
He sure
Yeah.
does.
Sorry for the wait. I'm ready now. I'm going with option 2. Look, no matter what happens to me, I'm sure that I don't want to go back to being who I was. I want to be stronger. Strong enough to face my destiny. And I want to believe that I can play a part in saving this world. I hope you can find it in yourself to believe it too. When you put it that way, how could we not? It is your decision to make. Just be sure that you are prepared when the time comes. If all are assembled, shall we depart? We'll follow your lead. What route would you have us take? About that, there's something I neglected to mention. I saw a Yulmorian ship coming into land over Amareng while I was on my way back to the Crystarium. No doubt, the same vessel that bore Volthri's forces to Raktika. Meaning we can expect to encounter armed resistance on our journey through the region. Right. Now, Nabathareng lies in the southern reaches of Amareng. And there are 2 routes we can take to get there. The first is the eastern route, which would lead us past Mordsuk. The other is the western route, which would require us to pass through the hills of Amber. Menphilia and I took the eastern route last time. Yes, that's the more well-trodden path. It also makes for far easier traversal of the Naboth Severance. But we can't use it. If we did, we'd need to cross the Severance from a point nearby the inn at Journey's Head. If the Yomorians caught wind of our approach, it could very well bring them into contact, and the inn and its patients, or bring in contact with the inn and its patients, and we could be sure their activities would not meet with Valthry's approval. It will make the journey more arduous, but I believe it would be safer to take the western route, which brings me to my proposition. While you make for the Hills of Amber in the west, I will draw the Yomorians' attention elsewhere, to an area in the east that I know to be uninhabited. That way you have a chance of reaching Naboth Arang unopposed, and without risk to civilians. I cannot deny it's a sound plan, but nor can I allow you to go alone. My skills will make your task at least somewhat easier, will they not? I will accompany you as well. It will afford us a chance to have a proper conversation. And if I go with the others, I'm likely to say something to and if I go with the others, I'm likely to say something Thancred will regret. Well then, we'll leave the work of distracting Valthry's forces to you. The rest of us will take the western route and try to avoid attracting attention. With that in mind, I think it best we follow the road from the bridges. We'll move faster over the solid path under our feet. We'll borrow a feet Amaro for our journey. I leave the rest to you, Menphilia. Thank you. I'll try not to disappoint.
The question is, don't they have their own mounts yet? Come on. They've been here longer than us.
Thancred seems more the type just to steal one when he needs it.
True. Was a rogue. Not even a ninja, a rogue.
I think Yugiri would argue against that statement.
Whatever. She's a rogue too. Thief. She just hides behind her shinobi.
There you are. The gate leading to Amarang is just up ahead. In all the time I've been here, I've never ventured into the Hills of Amber. Not that I'm particularly intimidated by new lands at this point, but we have more than enough reasons to be cautious as it is. Keep an eye on Menphilia for me, would you? I just had a thought. We've mentioned before about how the decision that Menphilia put before Thancred, that if the girl chooses not to fight, Menphilia will take over, but if she chooses to fight, they'll merge or something. And we've been talking about what does Thancred want her to do. It just dawned on me there's another thought that's probably bouncing around in Thancred's head. What does the other Menphilia want this Menphilia to do? Because Thancred might want the other Minfilia back, but the other Minfilia might not be able to live with herself doing it. And he probably knows that. Also soon, you've barely had time to recover from the battle. It only takes me about 15 steps, Hardis. Well, if you're certain, I'm hardly in a position to question you.
True. Out of the way, Peck.
Take comfort in the bonds you share. Accept the pain when the time comes to part. Press on, for joy and sorrow walk hand in hand. Beyond Mount Garrick lie the hills of Amber, beneath which run hidden veins of mineral wealth. Or ran, at least. Mayhap they are spent. Or mayhap the ringing of hammers can yet be heard below.
Also, I haven't really, I'm not really sure, but has Ardbert started glowing more than he did originally?
Zora and I have been talking about this, and he has. He's getting stronger with every light that we consume, it seems like. We're wondering if he's gonna take part, like, help balance out.
Could be.
Yeah, because when we first met him, he had almost like a shadow,
See-through.
mage.
Yeah, too.
You're right. And he was kind of emanating dark particles, too.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
now he's more light.
Indeed.
He's going to take all our corruption, save us.
Could be. This place has been scarred by the flood, too. Who could say what lies ahead? But whatever else this road may be, it is mine to travel, and I don't plan to take a moment of the time I spend upon it for granted. I take it you're seeing what I'm seeing? Finding a village when we're hardly 10 paces into the hills is a surprising stroke of luck, especially given our recent fortunes. But you won't hear any complaints from me. Let's see if the folk who live here can tell us what to expect on the road up ahead. You sell? No, you are no merchant. But then, why do I know your face? Oh, I remember. You spent Vobert gold. Such a coin purse cracking. You are already a legend among Mord traders. You're a traveling merchant, then. Can you tell us anything of this village? Of course. Anything for valued customers. This place is Garrick. Before the flood, it was home to many miners. After, not so many. Now, none. So, Master Gingin borrowed the village, made it into a trading post. Very convenient location. In which case, you all must be familiar with the local roads, correct? We're on our way to Nabatharang. We're on our way to Nabatharang. We're on our way to Nabatharang ourselves. If we continue south from here, will we have any difficulties reaching it? Oh yes, great difficulty. The flood rent the stone and crushed the mines surrounding Nabatharang. Only steep cliffs and collapsed tunnels remain. Oh no. But surely there must be some way. You think any of the Mord might have made some sort of hidden route? Perhaps. You ask, they tell. Tell for free, even. To friends of our best customer. Wonderful. Thank you for your help. Well then, best customer. Let's see what information your reputation buys us. Sounds like we need to go hunting for more Verbert gold. It must be extremely, extremely valuable.
Yeah.
You wish to go to Nabatharang? There was a way once. A gondola down from the cliffs. But it was built for those who had left something behind that they wished to retrieve. Now there is nothing left, and no one to use it. You may search for it if you like, but I doubt that its rusted wires would bear your weight. You hastily take down a memo regarding the gondola and a spare scrap of parchment.
I didn't know I could write.
Well, I was just about to say, nobody tells Zora that we have paper. Because she'll want to know where we got it.
On the front and back of her book.
Oh, that's a surprise. Not many bound for Nabatharang these days. I do know of a trolley that once went there. It used to be between all the settlements and mines on the hills of Amber. It is locked behind a gate, however. I assume that will have kept it from being stolen or damaged, but it also prevents it from being of much use. You take down information regarding the trolley on a wrinkled piece of parchment before stuffing it unceremoniously back into your bag. It's not the paper's fault that information wasn't of much use.
I just don't understand why we're actually putting notes down. You know, something up.
Well, I mean, a couple times in this X-Pack, they've had us give to somebody else the information.
Okay, yeah.
So, I imagine that's what's going to happen here, too. For an Nabatharang, airship is best. Nothing is faster than an airship. The Yomorians have one, I hear. You can ask them to take you. Though it seems somewhat superfluous to do so, you dutifully make note of Gongon's words.
We are so good at, like, asking questions and then, like, the next quest gives us the answer.
Mm-hmm. I'm afraid I've learned little of use about how to reach Nabatharang. The Yomorian presence, though, that's another matter. Apparently, though, their army is definitely in Amarang. There have been no sightings of Yomorians at all in the Hills of Amber. Perhaps we could take that as a sign that Alice's plan has borne fruit. Did you have any better luck finding us a route forward?
Although I don't know why we didn't just write everything on one paper.
We have bad handwriting.
Okay.
I mean, she doesn't get too many new books.
Bad handwriting, and we can only steal so many pages from Zora's books.
Mm-hmm.
So these are our options. Well, what do you think? I want to say the gondola one.
I know, because I like the end line.
I do too.
But I'm gonna go with option 3.
He tells you he'd rather not on the gondola.
It does seem to be the least risky of our options, and I can't imagine one gate is enough to thwart you. I'd like to know a bit more before we dash off in search of it, though. Perhaps Zunsun can offer some weight.
Congrats.
Apparently you chose right.
Indeed, Gratzora.
Grazie.
Oh, valued customers. Were the other Mord of help? Of a fashion. They told us of a trolley that runs to Nabatharang, at least. But am I correct in thinking that there was a reason that you did not do so yourself? When we asked? Yes, the gate, you see, it is impassable. Before, there was a hulking thing of stone, the Talos. It opened the gate, they say. But none operate such a thing now. I do not even know if it yet exists. I do not know, but you should travel east to Mount Buren Mines. That is where the trolley controls stand. I still see miners there from time to time, if anyone knows what happened to the Talos. It would be them. Thank you. You've been a great help. We're off to Mount Buren, then. Let's hope that someone will be there to answer our questions.
What was it that made us yak? I want to buy some to give to these guys.
They'd probably love it.
No, not these guys. I mean, Manphilia and the others.
Ah.
There was the frog legs, then there was like the pita bread kind of thingy.
Mm-hmm.
It was something spicy though. Was that the frog legs?
There was something spicy. There were
It
5.
was just the meat, right?
Yeah, there were 4 options. There was meat. There was frogs. There was the maggots.
There was bread.
And the bread. Yeah.
We had the bread.
I had the bread and got sick. But
yeah.
What did you have, KJ? You had the...
I had the meat. I grabbed the spicy hot meat, which I got sick also. Went running to the bathroom. Something like that. I just felt a good gesture, you know, to buy from him again.
The scale of the track is impressive. I'll give them that. Now we only need follow it until we come to the mines. What track? I don't see any track, Thangrid.
Up there.
Ah, yes.
Southeast, there's a... Oop. Not a lookout point. What the hell are they?
Current?
The green things. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been hitting the button. But the nearest one is on the other side of that chasm, so we'll have to wait until we get over there. Back up off of us, goats.
Oh, Keth found something that will shrink your pupils, by the way, too.
Oh yeah, just a second.
Oh yeah.
I don't need shrinking. Cut it out, you guys.
It's not you.
Alright, Zora, if you type into your chat /pet size space small.
It might only
Which
show because that's not that.
Yeah,
big.
this my Phoenix isn't too bad. It's the other one.
All right, there goes my dude. Oh.
Of a cooldown.
Oh, there's a sight thing right here.
Mm-hmm, I just saw it.
Probably have to go on them stairs and jump over. Yeah. Kept picking up the coyotes.
No, it's so big.
I don't see him any different.
On the wrong side. Nope, not that one. It's not that one either.
You have to do your fast run to get across the thing. Do your speed boost. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. You don't have to, but.
Oh, okay.
What are we supposed to collect? Iron rails?
Oh, there we go.
Oh! Wait, it looks the same size to me.
No.
Oh, that's because it looks the same. It's small to you, but not to us.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
I'm gonna try it and see if it will make your pet small to me.
Seconds.
It shrunk your chocobo, or not your chocobo, your what do you call it? Your little dude, carbuncle. It worked for me.
Oh, that's
So,
good. So we can
next
all
time
do
you
it.
pull it out, I'll know for sure. But
Okay, hold on. I've got 4 seconds. Oh, perfect.
oh yes, yes, everybody needs
Amazing.
to do it.
I'm alright with
Yay.
it being big. I don't have no size
Thank you, Kath.
inferiority complex.
I can't hear you, Kath. Did I? Anybody else hear Kath?
I can't hear him either.
Nope.
My mic's muted, and I have no idea when I did that.
You're probably probably like, rude, they're talking over me.
Well, y'all were, but I was like, after I finished, I was like, was I pressing down the shift key instead of the control key? But
Did you guys get all the parts, or are you still fighting?
I haven't even gotten to a part where I'm supposed to be looking for parts. I'm investigating the area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm investigating the area as well.
Yes. Oh, there's a sparkly over this way.
Was there one up top?
Didn't see one.
There was one on the trolley car right over there.
Right here. And there's on the ground, and I don't know where the third one is. But it's over here somewhere.
But yeah, Zora, if you scroll up over in Discord at a later time, you'll see I shared a video yesterday or the day before. And apparently the guy who makes the video plays Summoner, and one of his tips was, anybody playing Summoner out there, do this. Makes your pet smaller.
Can I just type that in, or do I have to wait till she has it out?
No, just type it in.
Yeah, just type
now.
it in.
In a free...
I am so happy. It makes it so much easier. I mean, you love the things, the pets, but
yeah,
they just get in the way.
Yeah, the dragon is gigantic.
He's so cute.
Of course, now it'll be even funnier watching a little dragon absolutely melt faces, so...
Yeah. Oh,
That's,
he's
that's
so cute now.
KJ size.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's cute.
Tried getting his back and took off.
Of course, I've now set mine to large just to see if that's what they originally were, or if he's going to be absolutely huge now.
Oh, that would be... Oh, the Phoenix would be next. So.
That'll be fine.
Pull down is too long.
Oh, your phoenix is adorable.
He's so cute. I love it.
From the size of the phoenix, I'm guessing large was the original. Ah, what hast thou discovered? I see. Indeed, thine observations are consistent with mine own. But let us refrain from further discussion ere our comrades arrive. Ample evidence of recent maintenance, and lukewarm tea besides. The levers for switching tracks looked like they were in good condition, though I couldn't move them myself. No ordinary person could, I think. It is my belief that no person is meant to. This Talos bear more than a passing resemblance to golems of the source. Nor doth it appear to be the sole example of its kind. The proliferation of Talos fragments, as well as the enormity of the mechanisms here, suggest a considerable number were once in operation. Alas, this specimen and its fellows now lie lifeless and broken, and I know not how to repair them, that they might facilitate our passage through the gate. And without the aid of the Talos, even if thou wert somehow able to unbar the trolley's path, we would have no means of propelling it. We might not know how to repair the Talos, but someone must. Otherwise, why keep everything else in working order? Whoever is maintaining the cars and rails must know something that we don't. Let's ask them what it is, shall we? I do believe you'll find a person of interest skulking in the shadows behind the warehouses on the northwestern side of the tracks. While you two have a friendly chat, the rest of us will gently encourage those to the south to come out of hiding. Defend yourselves as necessary, of course, but do try to keep everyone in one piece. Off we go, then. Wicked White, where did you come from? No, never mind that. You have no business here, of that I'm sure. Good to hear. These two weren't much trouble either. Let's see what they had to say for themselves. Us. We're not the brigands come to take what's ours, or take what isn't ours. We honestly look like we're here to, like we need to steal. What, some rusted bits of iron? Don't be absurd. We're not here to rob you. A likely story. You look, well... You don't look normal, that's for certain. You don't have any wares, so you're definitely not merchants. Travelers never pass this way. The only reason you would come all the way out here is to strip the machinery for parts. Oh, Thaf, I have an idea. What if, once upon a time, a lovely lady of noble birth ventured forth in search of her lost love, joined by her two most loyal servants, sworn sworn to follow her into World's End. On their journey, they met a sorcerer as ancient as time itself. Moved by the lady's devotion, he offered to be their guide, and they turned up here somehow? I can only assume that you're being intentionally obtuse, but in the unlikely event that that's serious conjecture, no. I suppose I am a bodyguard of a sort, but what we have here, we have rather larger concerns than fairy tale romances. Though I would fain hear more of this ageless sorcerer and his heroic deeds. Gods can't grant me strength. If I may, we're actually searching for a means by which to travel to Nabathareg. We were hoping that the trolley here might offer a solution. I realize that we haven't gotten off to the best of starts, but if you know anything about how we might get the thing working again. The trolley? The trolley? You should have led with that. We're always keen to discuss the trolley. We're both engineers in training, in fact. Is this name really Jerk? Jarek, maybe? Jarek and Thafe, at your service. Technically, I'm a miner, and he does repair work, but our true passion is the trolley. We're working with a few other folks to see if we get it up and running again. And before you ask, yes, it's true that there's little in need of transport these days, but there's no reason to consign a miracle of mechanical innovation to dust. The mere sight of it traveling the track once again would make hearts sore. Mark my words. You'll hear no argument from us. What progress have you made thus far? Not as much as we'd like, truth be told. Well, if there's anything we could do to assist you, we could gather materials, or help put pieces together. It's a sight more complicated than that, I'm afraid. If you spoke with Magnus, you'd understand. He's the only one with full knowledge of the trolley's operation. I suppose you could speak with him if you like. We'll introduce you. Very well. Our options are limited, and if this Magnus can explain whatever it is preventing the trolley from being restored, I'd like to hear it. Right. Looks like you'll be following us back to Twine, then.
Grats.
Grats, KJ.
Thanks.
If you're ready, we can leave right now. Though you haven't seen the other fellow around here, have you? I thought he'd have come out by now. You think he'll be alright. That's, well, I suppose we did force your hand a bit. I'll have a look just in case. You go on ahead, Thaf. Alright, looks like it'll be just you lot and me. Then. Try not to get anything take a bite out of you on the way out of the rail yard. Words are hard today. And I'm sure the other guy's fine. I mean, he only got zapped in the face by a space dragon.
Not a big deal. He's fine.
Yeah, it'll buff right out.
That's right. Only stings a little bit.
I'm not too sure about that arrow.
Okay, before I speak with this guy, I need to summon my muse to help me get my words right. Speak to me, great serpent of the forest.
That bird's coming to attack it. Is that a worm?
Okay. He said scree. We're good now. Damn, that smarts. Did he have to thump me so hard? I'll be feeling that for the next fortnight at least. Not to be done about it though. Now though, I've pointed your overeager companions in the right direction, and they've gone on ahead. So we need to get moving. Normally we walk atop the tracks, but seeing as the young lady has a much shorter stride, that's more perilous a route than I'm comfortable suggesting. Wouldn't want anyone falling through the gaps. Of course, the low road presents more dangers, but having been on the receiving end of your friend's blows, I'm not worried on that count. Wait a moment. I think I hear something. And I skipped the next line. Oh, that's something, but I didn't see the rest.
All right, run.
Sorry about that. I'll admit, I didn't expect this route to be quite so fraught with danger. We're nearly to Twine, though, so we should make it without further incident.
So now all you guys need to make / mount size all small. And of course I'll make mine larger.
This is it. Welcome to Twine. The original dwellings were built to house those laborers tasked with building the track. Over time, miners came to seek their fortunes, and that's what made the town grow to what you see before you today. But it was still the trolley that brought them here. As you've doubtless noticed, the track goes to the very heart of the town. It was the heart of the town. Back when the trolley still carried everyone home at the end of the day, at the end of each hard day in the mines. Now there is no trolley, nor much work to be had in the mines. For that matter, the only residents that remain are the destitute, the delusional, and those with nowhere else to go. Or so they say. That should give you some indication of what to expect when you meet Magnus. As I said, it will help you understand why we can't get the trolley running. Just don't expect too much aside from that. Well, that's encouraging, but I don't see I don't see we have much choice. Let's go and meet the man. Aetheryte, KJ.
Overrated.
Oh, y'all saw a lookout point really fast.
We're not driving, so we have
yeah
to look around.
There's another thing over here, guys.
How'd you get on there? Did you just walk off of it?
I jumped.
At an angle.
Ah.
Who are you supposed to be? Never seen the three of you in my life. Or the four of you? Wicked White, if you're gonna bother me, at least have the damn courtesy to stand still. Methinks this one is deep in his cups. These are my guests, Magnus. We ran into them at the mines. They're looking for a way to reach Nabatha Ring. So they came to ask about the trolley, you see. What? There's nothing in Nabatha Ring. Not anymore. And especially not for frail little girls. Give it up. No, we must reach Nabatha Ring. I must. Ah. So you have your heart set on it. The world doesn't care. The place is a ruin. Nothing more. And you're not getting there in the trolley. The thing doesn't run on hopes and dreams. We're not fools. It's necessity that drives us to Nabatha Ring. If you insist that the trolley is not an option, at least tell us why. No, I'm sick of people asking me about that blasted thing. Leave me be. We'll speak outside. He only said that because he thinks I'm weak. And he's right, but I can't be. I won't be forever. There has to be some way. I must find it. Oh, I'm sorry. I was stuck in my own head again. It's clear that Magnus has no intention of helping us. But perhaps we should ask the other residents? They may know something of the trolley. I'll take the north side of town. Let me know if you learn anything. Thancred, aren't thou truly content to stand witness to fate's course and take no part? This isn't a matter of fate, Urianger. It's about choice, and I've had years to decide where I stand. Menphilia has spent too long in chains already. I would not shackle her again by making my hopes known. It is for her to choose what shape her destiny will take. It is for me to stay silent, to protect her, teach her, and stand by her. That at least I can do for her. So be it. Come, let us make our own inquiries. Oh, there you are. You'll be pleased to know that I got our friend back home with no trouble, and he's just fine. He was just a bit shaken up, is all. And you? What did Magnus have to say? Ah, I did have a faint hope that your need might prompt him into action where our interest has not. But I suppose that was foolish of me. I am sorry that we couldn't be of help, though. I could at least show you the trolley car we have here, if you like. You could give it a stroke or two. It has some very smooth wood. You mean to say you're not giving up, even knowing that Magnus is Magnus? I don't see much point in your being stubborn about it, though perhaps stubbornness is exactly what the situation calls for. Can't forge iron without an anvil, after all. I can't imagine that anything you try will work, but if you're certain, you can help me make preparations in the event that it does. To that end, take this toolbox. We're going to inspect the rails. I'll have a look along the tracks for anything that's in need of repair. You bring the tools and be ready to hand them to me whenever I stop to work. You open the box, revealing the proud array of lovingly maintained tools within. Brilliant! Now, if you could hand me what I need as I work, that would be a great help. In this case, well, this bolt is loose. For one matter, we can't have that. I'll need to tighten it. Have your wrench. Thank you. This one will do nicely. Now, give me a moment and... There. I don't see any problems here, so let's continue on the track. You set down the toolboxes, the muscles of your arms enjoying profound relief, and open it once again. You're quite handy to have around, you know? As to the lamp here, these aren't often necessary these days, but if we're going to do this, we might as well do it properly. And if by some miracle the night returns, as it did in Lakeland, well, it's a nice thought. Anyhow, a bit of this post seems to have splintered. Whether its lamp is to be lit or not, we wouldn't want these little pieces of wood jabbing the next person who comes along to do maintenance. I'll need to sand it down a bit. Have your file. Although I don't recommend using a file to sand wood, but good luck. Yes, a wood file is perfect. Let's see if we can even this out. That should do it. I'll bring some varnish along next time for it to finish the job. I haven't spotted any other problems, so we can move along now. Unless you'd like to take in the view of the tracks from here a bit longer. It's breathtaking, I know. Mining has always been the primary vocation of the folks here in the Hills of Amber. But after a certain point, they had dug up everything that could easily be reached and carried back to back by manpower alone. It was then that the Naboth Empire struck upon the idea of the Talos, which they had seen at work abroad. At great expense, the Naboth brought the Mistel engineers who specialized in Talos here to the hills, and wouldn't you know it, the mining industry picked right up again. Twine itself sprung up around that time, as a matter of fact. It was named after the entwining of tales, the fruitful cooperation between native Ronso and the newly come Mistel. But that, like so much else, fell apart in the wake of the flood. The Mistel left, taking their knowledge with them. It was 15 years ago that the last of them, the folks from Daedalus Stoneworks, took off for Yulmore. And now no one remains that can repair and operate the Talos. But there's no use in lamenting what can't be changed. And there's one more thing we need to do while we're out here. So we might as well get to it. Vultures occasionally make their nests on the tracks, you see. And it falls to us to remove them when they do. The creatures are angry when disturbed, which is natural, but nevertheless a danger to anyone passing by. It's not my favorite task, to be honest with you. And, as you may have noticed, I'm not terribly suited for confrontation. That said, would you follow the tracks north and remove any nests you find for me? I'll keep an eye on things from here. Beware, I very nearly just walked off the edge.
So it's a thing.
Thank you. That should be everything taken care of. In return for your help, I'll tell you a bit more about the trolley. Nothing that can get it started again, though. As I said, the only people who knew how to repair the Talos are long gone. When they left, the life began to bleed out of the town. The trolley's tracks rusted and its cars fell into disrepair. Now, I was born in Twine, raised there. My first word was trolley, damn it, and those were the worst years of my life. But then about 7 years passed, Magnus and his wife returned to us. Magnus is a real proper trolley engineer, and perhaps he would never have left in the first place if it hadn't been for his son. As you're well aware, Amarang is hardly the safest place, and Magnus wanted his child to grow up away from its dangers. Didn't help in the end. The Sin Eaters got the boy. Isn't that always the way? The child had always said that someday he wanted to see Magnus's trolley running again. So in his memory, they returned to Twine. Started fixing those. So in his memory, they returned to Twine, started fixing those rusted rails and broken cars, and it was going well for a time. Wicked white vultures? Are they back for revenge? Never mind, I don't want to find out.
What a jerk. Left in mid-sentence.
Well, from your size, KJ, I would expect you to be running and hiding if you heard a large bird of prey around.
No. I shoot him out of the sky. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm in my country-looking hat here. Come on now.
Nice work out there. And now you just know the story of the trolley. Won't do you much good without the Talos, though. If there was even a single one of that still functioned, things might be different, but, well, here we are. Not that it'll do you any good, but we do have a Talos we've been meaning to repair. I could show you if you like. It'd certainly be nice to hear something other than Magnus's griping for a change. Oh, my poor friends, left to be eaten by horrible beasts. I feel terrible about running away, but what choice did I have? No point in us all being killed, now is there? Finding someone to go in and retrieve the bodies, rescue them, would absolve me of the blame, yes? If you could go into the ruins of Kelp to look for 2 moored scavengers, I would be very grateful. Truly a most vexing state of affairs. I thought mayhap a closer examination might yield something of value. I see. The means to build Talos stone by stone are lost to us. 'Tis true. But here before us slumbers a most fine specimen. Indeed, were it not for a few minor failings, it would be in working condition. It will likely require naught but a few modest repairs and a suffusion of ether. If you think you can get the thing up and running, far be it for me to stop you. What exactly do you reckon is its problem? I should stress that I have performed only the most cursory of examinations, though such arcane constructs are not wholly unfamiliar to me. As I did suspect from the first, it is host to a network of veins through which ether flow freely. Or so it would, were it not for several fractures which now impede that flow. How in the hell did it get all the way from how the hell did you get all that from just a glance? I take it you've thought up its solution as well, then? To bridge these fissures requireth a material highly conductive to ether. Once in place, I believe it would be possible to restore the Talos to life. Might it prevail upon thee to acquire that which we require? Not far beyond the walls of Twine dwelleth a creature of living stone, the Debatage. Full sure am I that the stone from such a being would prove most suitable to our needs. Very good. I shall have Thancred and Menphilia attend me in the remaining preparations. I spied but 3 obstructions to the flow of the ether in the Talos, and thus I would ask you to provide 3 stones of the Debatage. All else will be made ready upon thy return.
I don't know how, but I picked this like I have.
I see that.
Those are big cactus people.
Yes. Yes, they are.
And long daddies. Or long-legged spiders. Yeah. Daddy long legs, that's what we used to call them.
I am alive? Can it be true? But it is too early to celebrate. The youngest of our group is still missing. Please, you must find him. I will wait for you outside the ruins in case you need help carrying whatever is left of the poor boy. Ooh. Does that count as a near-death experience? I cannot wait to tell my friends. But first, we should make a hasty retreat, yes? I just realized I'm chasing somebody who isn't you guys.
It's okay.
I cannot thank you enough for saving us. But how did you know we were here? Running away turned out to be the best choice. Not only did he escape, but he sent for help too. If he had tried to rescue us himself, we would probably all be dead by now. Better to run and scavenge another day. Yes, I must remember to thank him.
They remind me of water striders.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the big cactus guys. I was like, what? Wow, whatever you have over there, I want some. Those pain pills are doing really good, huh?
I'm not on any.
Tancred and Menphilia will return ere long with the remaining supplies we require. Just succeed in procuring stone from the Debatage. Fine specimens, one and all. You have my thanks. We need now but wait for Tancred and Menphilia's return. From end to end, the paths by which ether may flow through the Talos have been duly mended. They but require a sufficient endowment. It's not moving. Strange. The core refuses to stir. I fear the condition of this Talos is more dire than I previously surmised. As a heart driveth blood through a man's veins, so doth the core ether throughout this massive frame. Failing its repair or replacement, the Talos cannot be restored. That wasn't the heart after all. Thou didst foresee this outcome? Well, no, not exactly. We'd never gotten this far in trying to repair it, so we had no way of knowing the heart was the real problem. We tried to find another, in case things turned out as they are now, but... Jarek? This isn't really my story to share. Please, Jarek, if something went wrong, maybe we could help. Alright, alright. After all you lot have done for me, I suppose it's the least I can do.
Congrats.
Thank you. Ooh.
Congrats.
I learned a thing. Actually, I learned a lot of things. Trait book. What did I learn? And I got an upgrade to my primary mitigation. It now blocks for more, and it also gives me a regen when I use it. Nice. Yeah. And was there something else there? I had also buffed one of my other spells that I've never actually used. So. It would be a useful spell if I knew somebody was about to take damage and they were fairly close to me. But sometimes you don't have that kind of response time.
Yeah.
Right then. The Talos. Their hearts cannot be made of just any stone. You need a special sort of a special sort with sufficient etherical conductivity. Both it and the other materials used in the construction of the Talos bodies are mined in the same place. That place, of course, being here, the Hills of Amber. And it was 3 years ago when she... No, I can't. I'm sorry. But you'll have to hear it from Thafe or someone else. Back to the tavern then.
Zora with us?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Still here, eh? Yeah, you can ask again, but the answer's the same. Our trolleys are... What? God damn it, Jarek. You could have at least finished so I wouldn't have to clean up your mess. Seeing how you made such quick progress in fixing that Talos and all, he was probably thinking you could help change things around here. And I think he may be right. Gather your friends, I'll tell you what you want to know.
I was going to say, we're all here.
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know. Greatest prospector there ever was. When the golem hearts started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed. We labored day and night to clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her. To find her body. Magnus has never been the same since.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other place he'd be.
What? Oh, you again. How many times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts for scrap. Now, piss off back to wherever you came from. And don't let me catch you around here again.
What were their names?
My son was named Skuli. My wife, Agna. Being here with them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows, but somehow the bottle's never deep enough.
No bottle is. Believe me, I know.
You've lost someone too?
Not like you. Not my own flesh and blood. I grew up an orphan, so I never really knew what family meant. Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter. But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers. I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die. In the end, all we can do is press on, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. and that requires your Talos. Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Nabarth Areng.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.
Full well do I know the pain of loss and how heavily it can weigh on one's heart. Nevertheless, there is but one way forward. We must needs procure a new heart for the Talos. Thafe, knowest thou any location wherein we might find a stone we require? No matter how scant the possibility, we would seize it. I told you near all the veins were tapped dry years ago. Though I suppose if you really wanted to try, you may find something at Nuvi's Leavings. It was opened well before Talos became commonplace, which is why the mining there was never quite as deep. When you get there, look for Gusjan and ask him, or tell him I sent you. But don't be surprised if he tells you the same thing. Thine assistance is most appreciated. I think it best Thancred join thee in this search. Though he would be quick to deny it, his heart is in turmoil, and his thoughts clouded. It would be unwise to ignore his distress. Off to somewhere, are you? At last, a lead on the stone we need to power the Talos. I can't very well have you go on your own. Lead the way. I say we're long overdue for a good turn. I can only hope the gods feel the same way. Now, Nuve's Leaving was to the south, was it? Let's get going. Have you seen a charm like this before? I found it among the stones brought from the mine. A lot of the workers wear these for good luck, and I expect whoever lost it is wondering where it went. It's the first time I've seen one made from cat's eye, so the owners shouldn't be hard to track down. I'd go look for them myself, but I've got too much to do around here. Would you be able to go to my place? The graveyard keeper is quite knowledgeable about charms and whatnot, so it might be worth asking him. What's that you have there? Ah, yes. Cat-eye charms like this were once used to ward off misfortune. The tradition began with the Church of the First Light, and the gem represents their patron deity. Even though no one follows that old religion anymore, some of its customs remain, especially among the miners. You don't see many this exquisite, though. I seem to remember the fella with an eye patch similar, or eye patch kept a similar charm around his neck. It might even be the exact same one. Never caught his name, but he's not hard to miss. The last I saw him, he was leaving to mine in Nuvi's leavings with some of the others.
Okay, that was amazing. I didn't think that was an uphill thing.
I saw the break in the on the map and figured I could make it. Of course, it didn't do any good, but way you described it, I was expecting the place to be abandoned. Perhaps our fortunes are finally improving. Though we should probably hear what Guthjon has to say before we celebrate. Assuming we can find him, that is. Need to AFK for a minute. I'll be right back.
I'm AFK too.
I'm back.
KJ's AFK.
Alright.
Nice.
Of course, I can only do it a couple times. But yeah, it gives you 8 seconds of 10% reduced damage taken. And let's see, then it gives you 4 seconds of, I guess, additional 10% reduced damage taken. And 12 seconds of a regen.
Cool.
Welcome back. Oh, I didn't notice you there. What do you want? Where did you get this? Gods, how could I have been so careless? This was all my sister left behind before she... Look, I'd rather not talk about it, but I appreciate you bringing this back to me. It means a lot. Hmm? Who are you? What are you doing here? Well, you should have listened to Thave. You're wasting your time. This site is not as developed as the others, not? Surely there must be something left. I should explain. The stone you're looking for is leonine. All of the Talos in the Hills of Amber are powered using them. Or were, at least. Anyway, whatever's left, if anything, is too far below to be safely excavated. In the deepest reaches of the mine, we use Talos to keep the pathways from collapsing. They're still there, but they could give out at any time, which is why the mine is closed off. And our only option is to search the higher levels for any fragments of leonine that may have been overlooked. I suppose there may be one other way. Well, don't leave us in suspense. What you're asking for is a trade secret. I'll need to be duly compensated in exchange. Fine, what do you want? The other day, I found a Verbert gold piece down in the mines. A bloody Verbert gold piece. And wouldn't you know it, I dropped the damn thing somewhere while I was working. Find it, and I'll tell you what you want to know. You drive a hard bargain, sir, but we'll take it. It seems we have our work cut out for us. Thankfully, I have an idea for how we might hurry things along. As I'm sure you've noticed, despite their best efforts to illuminate the corridors, it's rather dark in here, meaning it will be much harder to find a single coin hiding in the shadows. That's why I propose we use these sun drops. They help the eye take in more light. Why don't you start your search further in, and I'll handle this area here. I'll retrace your steps after in case you happen to miss it. If you feel the drop's effects wearing off, I can give you more, so don't worry. Back so soon? I thought the drops would last longer than that. Oh, apparently. Yeah, we got 3 minutes. Search the shadows but find nothing. Perhaps the gold piece lies elsewhere. Search the shadows but find nothing. Perhaps the gold piece lies elsewhere. As you search the shadows, a glint catches your eye. You turn over a rock and find a Fobert golden piece. I was hoping you'd drop the piece somewhere close to the entrance. More fool me for thinking Lady Luck was on our side. Or maybe she is. Yours, at least. In the end, my contribution was little more than poor company. Go with option 2. No more than usual, I assure you. I only managed to survive the Kurthan wilderness and the Imperial capital by virtue of extensive preparation, a habit of mine since childhood, and one of my few positive traits which endeared me to Louisoix, I imagine. It hasn't been easy finding ways to compensate for my condition. Every tool and trinket has proven vital to my continued success, such as it is. And I chose to pursue the arcane arts rather than espionage. Well, I'd rather not think of it. So long as I have the means to protect those dear to me and to see my duties through, that's all that matters. Now, let's hurry and see that returned to the Guthjon. The sooner we get back to Urianger and Minfilia, the better. You're back. Wait, does that mean? I'll be damned, you actually found it. Well, a deal's a deal. But don't think this means you'll find what you're after. To be honest, I wasn't sure you could pull it off. But you did, and I'm a man of my word. Come with me.
So seeing those gold, excuse me, reminded me of what you were telling us about turning them into, what you call it, get a higher profit back. Yeah, Doma.
Mm-hmm.
I took 4 or 6 from my retainers that they gave me, and I added them all up, and then I looked at what they actually gave me back, and it was about 500 gold more. So yeah,
nice.
I mean, I only got it was like 2,500. I was only going to get 2,000 back, but they gave me 25 or 2,500. But that was a different rate too, so I don't know. I saw that up there.
Gotcha. The rate might go up as you level up. I don't know. Every time I step out of those mines, the sky seems to get brighter. I'd never leave them if the air wasn't so stale. But you're not come to hear my grievances. You're after Leonine. First, I have to ask: you ever heard of rockworms? Rockworms. I know them by another name, though I'm fairly certain the locals call them knockers. Aye, that they do. Whatever you want to call them, those little bastards may be the answer to your troubles. They can fit through cracks and crevices down where we could never hope to reach. And on occasion, they come back with something valuable. They dig up Leonine in the mines. It's a rare occurrence, but yes. That said, it usually amounts to no more than a few flakes. Well, our only other option sounds tantamount to suicide, so how can we draw out these rockworms? Over by that shack, you'll find a bag full of smoke bombs. Set off a few in the mines, and you'll flush them out in no time. Once they're out in the open, knock them senseless and check their backs. I should warn you, this method of mining, if you call it that, is used as a last resort on account of what little they're likely to bring back. You'll want to cover as much ground as you can, if you hope to find anything of value. Assuming you find something, bring it here and I'll have a look. We should split up. If we're going to cover more ground as he suggests, if you could cover these 3 areas on your map, I'll see to the parts between them. Alright, KJ. And according to the wiki entry, it says, for every item donated, players will receive a gratuity amounting to a sum of gil slightly higher, 120%, than they would normally receive when selling those items to a regular vendor. The gratuity increases to 180% after completing the first phase of the reconstruction efforts, and increases again to 200% after further progress. So that's why my rate's higher than yours.
I didn't know it. I didn't notice what your rate was and stuff, or even my own.
Mine was
I
180.
just noticed that I got more gold back.
Gotcha.
That's all I was happy about. And then when I saw this quest reward 2 bags, I was like, well, what the hell? I might as well. Start saving a spot up for the bags.
I feel like I didn't get credit for that.
I got 1 of 3.
There we go. Now I got credit.
think I got some lag going on.
Oh?
Oh yeah, that happened like 3 seconds after I pushed my buff, or speed buff.
Whoa. My sending is 32. My receiving is 24,000.
Yeah, my sendings was 88 and the receiving 24 something, 25 something. And I didn't get crap for that.
Did you get credit for the rocks? Or do you need to do it? Okay.
I need to do the rumble. Okay. Oh, it's not done. Okay, so that's one of. Okay, no, now I got it. So now we're looking for purple. Oh, rubble works too. Zora or Ema?
I'm over here.
We're at 507, right?
Yep.
Still cracks me up that you can walk behind him and they don't aggro.
Mm-hmm. There you are. Find anything promising? Between the two, I'd say you've gotten quite the haul. Best get comfortable, friends. It's gonna take some time to sift through all this.
You may not remember this about Arminfilia, but prior to founding the Path of the 12, long before the Scions, she was something of a miner. After her father died, Flamine took her in and taught her the trade. I think they were both seeking to fill the void left by a loved one. Maybe that's why she took to it so readily. Back in those days, I spent most of my time in the Quicksand, or some other tavern, loosening tongues and gathering secrets. Occasionally, I'd catch a glimpse of her in the street, on her way home after another hard day's work. I always felt a wave of relief when I saw she'd come back safe, along with a pang of guilt at the fact I wasn't there to support her as I should have been. Simply speaking with her more than once in a blue moon would have been a good start, but I could never bring myself to do it. Instead, I threw myself into my work, and became every drunkard's best friend. Far from it, and Flamine has never let me live it down. But that was a lifetime ago. Here and now I have another chance to do things right, and I will not squander it again.
Hey! Come and see what I found! You're not going to believe this.
Tell me it's Leonine.
It is at that. You lot were born lucky. It's mostly broken pieces. But look at this.
This is a rather fine specimen.
It's been decades since we found anything approaching this big. But that's not all. There's an engraving on it.
Ah, these scratches here. They're a little hard to make out. To my beloved Magnus and Schoolie.
Yes! Do you see? It was a gift to Magnus from his wife. She found it. She really found it. She must have spent her final hours carving this message into the stone, in the hope that he might see it one day. Those rock-backed bastards must have made off with it before we could clear a path to her. It's fate that brought you here to find this stone. No other explanation. It makes me wonder what else might still be buried in these parts.
I wouldn't believe it if I had not seen it myself. Before you set it in the Talos, would you take it to Magnus? For 3 long years, he's believed she died for nothing. He must know the truth, that her sacrifice was not in vain. We'll take it straight to him. You have my word. Thank you, Gusjon, for all your help. Right then. Let's not keep everyone waiting.
Sink.
Remembered at the last moment that, oh yeah, my tank stance gets turned off when I sink.
I kept trying to hit the one you were hitting right there at the first. And I kept running up to it closer, closer, and I'm like, why can't I target it? Why am I not hitting? And then I was like, oh, sink.
Yep. Hey, perhaps you could help me. As you've no doubt noticed, most of Twine's miners are Ronso. There's a Mistral lad, though. The only one of his kind in the whole town. His name's Kisat. A bit of a loner. Always digging for himself in places where you'd be lucky to find lumps of coal. Never mind gems and such. I often ask him why he doesn't mine the same spots as the rest of us, but he never gives me a proper answer. I dare say he would be more inclined to speak with an outsider, though. If you get the truth out of him, and see if anything is the matter, it would put my mind at ease. A traveler, eh? What do you want with me? Lucky to find a couple of lumps of coal, is that what he said? Shows how much he knows. You, on the other hand, might be a better audience for my master plan. Have you ever heard of an alloy called nabathium? It's strong, light, and resistant to heat and friction. It was one of the most valuable metals in Nabatha Rang, and a lot of their jewelry was made from this stuff. The trouble is, the techniques for mixing the alloy were lost to the flood. I've been looking for a way to make my own, and my search has led me to a scroll that explains the methods, right down to the last detail. After having a historian decipher it, I learned that I lacked one vital ingredient. Rudabite. And that is what I'm digging for. Short of venturing into the empty, my next best option is to look for a vein here in Amareng. Of course, I'd stand a much better chance of finding one if I had help, but I'd rather not have to rely on anyone from around here. Some of the Ronso miners take exception to the fact I'm Mistral. They seem to think we're not built for this kind of work. When I find the Rudabite, they'll see how wrong they are. You know, this is the first time I've said more than about 2 words to anyone in a while, and I feel better for getting that off my chest. This might be a bit sudden, but I have an idea. How would you like to see the moment I finally unearth that vein of ore? Well, what I really mean is, I need somebody there to act as a witness. Otherwise, the others might think I found brought a lump of it from somewhere, ludicrously expensive as it is, and am pretending to have dug this up myself. Would you do me this favor? You will? Thank you. Luckily, I found the perfect spot for my next dig. If my miner's hunch is correct, the ore should be waiting just below the surface. It's in the V leavings, so I'll wait for you there.
Hey, if it's one step closer to flying, sure, I'll come watch.
What? Oh. Come to complain about the trolley. You'll find no sympathy from me. Told you before, it won't run, and you wouldn't listen. Oh, but it will, now that we have this. Your name is engraved on it, along with your son's. It was a gift from your wife, Magnus. For Magna. No. No, she couldn't have. Magna. Take it. Do with it what you will. Are you certain? It would delay our plans, but... I said take it. It was you who found it. You who needs it. Looking at that stone, all I can see is... Please, just leave me be. I hope you'll be there when the Talos stirs to life. I'm sure she'd want you to see it. Would you do the honors of delivering this to Urianger?
Why, certainly, just handouts to everybody. Forget the fact I can't see what we're handing each other.
Thou art returned, and with Leonine, it would seem. As promised, the Talos have been made ready to receive its heart. Thanks in no small part to Jarek, Thafe, and Menphilia. At last we shall return to the timeless, this sentinel of stone, that we may press towards Nabatha Ring. Very good. Now let us begin.
Preparations for the enchantment are complete. When the heart hath been suffused with a sufficient quantity of ether, the golem should be restored to life.
All right then. Whenever you're ready. It's working! It's working! Magnus!
You left me for this? This worthless pile of earth? And yet, I can't.
What troubleth thee, child?
I shouldn't be here. I don't deserve to be. I don't deserve any of the things you've done for me. I'm just a burden, helpless and hopeless. If tomorrow came and I was gone, it would be better for everyone. Thancred most of all. He'll never admit it, but I can see it in his eyes. I wish he'd just say it. Just say that he hates me, that he wishes I was dead so that she could return.
None of this is thy doing, child. 'Twas I who set the Oracle on her path unto the first. I who condemned you all to suffer these torments. 'Tis my sin alone, and one that will haunt me unto my dying day. Yet I dare not dwell overlong on my many regrets. For the world is a tapestry of fates, interwoven and inseparable. And we who strive to better it cannot choose but make difficult decisions. For naught of worth was ever achieved without sacrifice, and thus must man ever struggle to weigh life against loss. The one for whom thou mournest beareth no grudge. Were she here, she would not suffer thee to languish in sorrow. She would tell thee to seek thine own path, thine own purpose. It is a truth which I myself was slow to learn. Yet a truth it remaineth. Thou needst but have faith. Have faith, and all will be well.
Not today.
To what do I owe the pleasure that is your extended stay?
Oh, to the tediousness of our hero's present endeavors. That and the insufferable abundance of light in Armorang. I should be glad to keep my distance. Oh, I'm rather fond of sleep, you know. It's a wonderful way to pass the time. Not that my compeers would agree, mind you. Always on the move, the lot of them. Like La Hebrea, constantly jumping from vessel to vessel. Such fire, such determination. So much passion, fleeting and forgotten. Come to think of it, Exarch, I don't believe I've ever seen you retire to your chambers for so much as 40 winks. However do you keep your eyes from closing? The cold shoulder. You wound me, sir. Always so guarded in our every interaction. Interactions you curiously refrain from sharing with the Scions and their champion.
And risk souring your budding relationship? I think not. Much as I dislike you, there are more useful targets for his energies. And I'm not in the habit of pointing him at my enemies like a weapon.
Is that right? Fond of him, are you? You continue to fascinate me, Exarch. But tell me, who are you? The once great nation whose ingenuity gave birth to this tower was shaped by my hand. As such, I know full well the wonders it can facilitate and those it cannot. There is nothing in these walls which could have aided you in summoning our dear friend across time and space. Much less in possession of his mortal flesh, not even I could have performed such a feat.
I see. You had a hand in Alag as well. You would know what I am? I am the adjudicator of the sacred history with which you dared trifle. I am keeper of this tower's boundless wisdom. The wisdom of ages without age, of everywhere and nowhere. The great work of those who tamed the wings of time and grasped the nature of the rift. 'Tis a boon born of sacrifices yet unmade. The parting gift of brave heroes who will one day give their lives for a brighter future. I will not see their hopes and dreams squandered. The history which led us here will be unwritten. I promise you that.
Well, it seems we're both eager to fulfill our duties then.
On that much, we are in agreement.
My apologies for the delay. Minfilia and I had a private matter to discuss. Which brings me to the question. How didst thou find Thancred during your search? He spoke of Minfilia, of his own accord. I see. 'Tis well that he did, and with such candor. I attempted to broach the subject before. My intention was to ensure no word remain unspoken between them, lest tragedy intercede. A regret I myself know all too well. Alas, in the end he refused to heed my counsel. A time will come when he must face the reality of their circumstances, but I have faith that all will be well in time. Now, let us not tarry any longer. The Talos and Nabretharang await. I think we probably need to call it here for the day.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure what state Zora's in, but I'm about to fall asleep at my keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all may have noticed me doing things like this.
I just figured it was normal.
KJ has a broom.
Yeah.
KJ's got 2 brooms.
Just one moment. Let me wind down the stream. Alright, guys. I'm going to call it here for the night. And I should be back tomorrow with more Final Fantasy VII. Until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good day.